But moving on, does the White House need to communicate with the American people and say, hey, it's going to be painful for some businesses? Do they need to come out and say that to folks? You've kind of heard it from some of the representatives who go on TV for representing the White House and President Trump's strategy. But do they need to say, and is our economy strong enough right now? That's the why now that they picked this trade fight, because our economy can withstand it, and China's maybe not.
Well, I'm not a world economist, but I do know that corporations are going to advocate for their own companies. And our economy is strong. I'd hate to do this from a position of weakness. And we're getting stronger every day. So if we're ever going to do this, now's the time to do it. And I think it's okay for CEOs to talk about, or farmers to talk about, the pain they're going to get. It keeps everybody alert to how complicated this really is.
So I want to move on to something that is your wheelhouse. Forget McDonald's. For the third year in a row, Chick-fil-A is named America's favorite fast food restaurant. Your thoughts on this? And again, this is about, something new, and it's about the service, Ed.
Well, I tell you, I have a fond affection, if you will, for Chick-fil-A. I think it's a company that's well-grounded. It's got a point of view. It takes very good care of its employees and franchisees. There's a lot to be said for the company. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to how much money you make and how many outlets do you have, how global are you, how strong are you, who's on the rise, and how do customers vote with their pocketbook. And at the end of the day, that's what counts most.
Well, it also has to do with the chicken minis with the honey on top.
But I don't get the pickle underneath. I don't really get that.
No, the chicken minis are the breakfast with honey. Oh. It's amazing.
Well, look, Chick-fil-A is the new hamburger. We've badmouthed beef for years and how bad it is for your health, which is nonsense. And then you turn around and say deep-fried chicken is the best thing you could ever eat. Come on.
Well, did you see Arby's is number 4 on that list?
That's
and Arby's,
yeah, we love meat.
They say it's beef.
Yeah.
No, what's the tagline for Arby's? We got the beef. We've got the beef. It's that tagline.
Or something like that.
And I've got anything made from plants. At McDonald's, meantime, Ed, this is a topic that you're always hot on, announcing plans to add kiosk and mobile ordering to its stores. That's stoking fears of robots taking over our jobs. While it is growing in popularity, robotic food service won't eliminate human workers yet due to the high cost relative to human beings. Right, Ed?
Well, there's no question. We're seeing an unusual situation in this country in the service industry. Entry-level workers need to have basic skills to earn a minimum wage, but the minimum wage is going crazy in a lot of cities. And the interesting thing to me is I've talked to a lot of people in the hospitality industry. These young people don't want to work today, and they don't even have essential basic skills. They don't know how to count money. They don't know how to wash dishes. They don't know how to sweep floors. They don't know how to wipe tables. We're teaching them everything, including how to dress in the hospitality industry, and being told we got to pay them $15 an hour. That is not sustainable. You're going to see more and more automation, more and more people losing their jobs. You're going to see the bottom end of the hospitality arena, and cheap hotels are going to go by the by because you can't find people to make beds, wash dishes, serve other customers. It's crazy what's going on right now. It's an intersection of a lot of bad events.
Morgan, does that change? I point to you because you are a millennial. Does this attitude among some young people, again, it's these millennials who are also fighting for our freedom overseas,
right,
on many fronts. But again, does that attitude change, you think, about just hardcore work ethic?
I think it all depends on where you're raised. I mean, I was a waitress for a long time. I worked at Subway. I mean, I did all of those jobs when I was getting through college. So it depends a lot on your home life and where you're raised.
Ed, and I'll just point out one thing. We were talking about Chick-fil-A. They're raising their minimum wage out in California to $18. So again, if they're willing to pay up in terms of really great employees, and I think that really speaks to the type of people who work at Chick-fil-A.
Well, it also, keep this in mind, that's happening right across the board in virtually every restaurant. I can show you restaurants, McDonald's in California, that are easily paying that kind of money just because there's no workforce.
Good to see Ed, as always, Ed Rensi joining us. Take care. Happy 4th.